Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet. I'm your host, Allie Clifton, and joining me it's your 13-year NBA vet, Reggie Theus. Here's a look at some highlights from your career resume. 13 seasons in the NBA, two-time NBA All-Star, All-Rookie team.
How about LeBron James with a chip on his shoulder? How about that? I love that. LeBron James coming back after having a long rest, with the new, probably new players on the team.
Absolutely.
New vision. They're going to have to stoke the fire quite a bit. You know, he's one of those guys, Jim, where he doesn't have to score a lot of points to make everybody better. But one thing you love about Alonzo is the fact that he gets the ball out of his hands quickly. The ball never sticks. He's always finding the early guy, and it's not always his pass, but it's the pass leading to the pass, and that's what you love about him. I'm partial to 6'6", 6'7" point guards. I know a little bit about that stuff, but his ability to get to the paint, normally you don't see him do in between game shots because he's always trying to find the open guy. Just a tremendous basketball player and a pro.
Reggie, the Lakers should look to re-sign JaVale McGee.
I'm going to give it a 9 because I like JaVale. I think he's played very well. I know 5 men are hard to find, especially one that will play his role and do the things he's averaging in the last 6 games. I think he's averaging like 20 points, 14 rebounds, shooting almost 70% from the field. So those are big numbers, and he's really done himself proud here. This game was really a tale of two halves because in the first half, Louisville really dominated this team in the first half, but in the second half, it was all about Mo Faulkner. The sophomore was just phenomenal. 17 points in the second half. Jim, he just ran a clinic on footwork, tenacity, getting to the rim, showing his athleticism from the perimeter to the backboard. Look at that, a nice pass right here. He really did do it all in the second half of this game.
How has the game changed now compared to when you were playing?
Not nearly as physical.
Yeah.
Not, every time down court, it was all about physicality. And I think that, players now are super skilled. They're great bodies, and they really take care of themselves. It's just very different in the sense that, we play the game with a hand on your body. We play the game, making contact. And I don't understand, a lot of times they talk about all these things, but if you can't guard somebody by putting your hand on them, you can't bump them a little bit, how can you guard anyone these days?
You must laugh at some of the technical fouls. Like, what did he do to deserve that?
Listen,
that was nothing.
I got stitches on this side, stitches on that side, and asked the ref why he's throwing elbows. The referee said, "Get your face out of the way."
Yeah.
That's how it was in those days.
Talking about this earlier, it was about tempo, and Kentucky controlled the tempo for most of the game.
Jim, that was their game plan, control the tempo, not to let UCLA get into their flow. And by the way, too much Monk and too much Fox. 60 points between them, UCLA guards 23. When you look at the tempo, you start to look at how the game is being played. Every time they had a chance to pull it back out, reset the clock, they shot down the stretch of the game when it became time and score. They went under 5 seconds and 6 seconds every time. And when they did that, they opened the floor, drive the ball, find the open guy. Smart basketball. This team grew up a lot tonight.
What went wrong this season? The biggest slice of your pie would be injuries.
For me, injuries, more than half the pie.
Okay. More
than half, because they were in 4th position on Christmas. And there was no indication that that was going to change.
And LeBron got hurt in the third quarter. They still beat Golden State by 26 that night.
So he comes back, and he's not 100%. Give him credit for coming back. Give him credit. And the young guys, now the trade situation starts and all the conversations, and they weren't, tough enough to handle it. And they're young and didn't understand how it really goes. And it worked on the fiber of the team. And I think that when LeBron went down, that stability wasn't there as a unit to hold together and for someone else to step up and take the reins.